Virgin Galactic is not only going to space, it's also going public. The company is coming to the stock market later this year. It's part of a merger with a venture firm, Social Capital Heterosophia, which will take or get a 49% stake in the new Virgin Galactic. The SCH stock is trading at more than 2% higher at the New York Stock Exchange right now. Now, I'm joined by the founder of the Virgin Group, Sir Richard Branson, who's good to see you, as always.
Good to see you, too.
Richard, why this deal? What is it? Why did you decide to go public in this way? I mean, to some extent, Virgin Galactic is your baby.
It's a 14-year-old baby now. So yeah. It's quite a... a while ago, we had shaken hands on a deal in Saudi Arabia, and that would have funded both Virgin Galactic and Virgin Orbit. We obviously pulled that deal when the Khashoggi thing happened, and I decided then to carry on and fund both companies myself until until they both got to break even, and then I was approached by Shamath, who explained how a SPAC worked, which I had never heard of before, and over a 9-month period persuaded us that to reverse into their SPAC.
What's the advantage for Galactic of doing this?
So this will give us the money to see us right through to profitability. It will mean that we'll be able to ramp up production and get many more spaceships built and another mothership built, many more rockets built. So it's actually the way that Virgin Group works. We maybe spend 14 years building a company, owning nearly 100%, and then we'll sell down. And
now you've done that with the airlines. You've done that with all the other aspects of it. Is it hard to do that? Is it hard? I mean,
It's painful if you're going below 51%. With Virgin Galactic, I'm keeping 51%, and we also have 100% of Orbit. So still going to be very involved. But when many years ago, when I sold our first company, Virgin Records, for $1 billion, I was spotted running down the street in floods of tears. But past a headline which said Branson sells for $1 billion, I thought that that would be a strange photo. But you do get companies are people, and you get very attached to them.
And this particular one, bearing in mind, obviously, the difficulty, this has been one of your hardest ventures to do, Galactic. Are you still on track? And when I say on track, I don't mean whether you hit December the 31st or next March. It's neither here nor there. But is the project on track to put somebody into space in the near future?
Yes. I mean, the exciting thing is that we have put 5 people into space in the last few months. They've all become astronauts. We're the only company in the world to have done that. The last company in America that did it was NASA in 2011. So we've gone well into, after 14 years, our test program.
But whereas the other players, Musk, Bezos, and others, are going for the commercial stuff, the delivery of space stuff, the further deep space, where there could be greater revenues from commercial ventures, where is the long-term revenue coming from for Galactic?
There are millions of people watching this program who would love to become astronauts and go to space if they could afford it. The price that we're currently charging, we actually closed the bookings 5 years ago when we got 600 people, because that'll take us 2 or 3 years to accommodate them. But since we've had the people in space, we've had 2,500 people who've registered to go when we reopen again. So I think the difficulty is not going to be finding people who want to go. It's going to be creating enough spaceships to cope with demand.
And I love the fact that at some point, Wall Street meets Main Street meets space. Now you're a public company. The numbers are out there, and it's a much more transparent. Not transparent. That implies it wasn't. But it's a much harder game when the street's involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 50 years in business running Virgin this year.
50?
50. And over those years, I've taken quite a few, many companies public. And I mean, the last two was Virgin America, which we built from scratch with one plane up to a really formidable airline in the States, and Virgin Money in the UK. And I, as long as you get a great team of people in to run it on a day-to-day basis, then it can be helpful and useful. Thank you.
See you as always. Thank you very much indeed.
Nice to see you.